Hi guys, today I'm just going to show you some new things that are in the Japanese sport add-on. Now, I'm not going to really be um, like maybe this isn't going to be that organized because I'm just going to do a really quick go through of the new features, and I'm not really going to probably be that precise in my language, and I apologize for that, but Matt's going to have um, like a full overview of the add-on after public release coming out on his channel. So till then, if you have any questions, you can just ask me on Discord and I'll try to clarify if anything is too vague or doesn't seem to make sense to you. So anyways, one cool thing that has been added is that um, I've improved the algorithm. It's substantially faster than it was before, and according to some calculations, it's about 15 times faster than it used to be. So let's take a look here. Let's just do it in the TAGI in the definition field. We'll just generate like maybe we'll just do like 100 cards or 80 cards is fine. So let's just generate those first. We're gonna generate um, within TAGI to TAGI, and we're gonna overwrite the field. We're not gonna generate audio or graphs. Okay, let's go ahead and execute. Yes. Okay. So, I mean, it's still not that fast because there are some limitations just because of how it's implemented, but it's a lot faster than it used to be. It can do 100 cards, and this is in the definition field, guys. And the definition field is actually substantially longer than a single sentence, so it should be even faster for just single sentences. You can see like these definition fields are pretty big. They're many sentences, yet they're being generated very quickly. So okay, so the main feature that I want to show today is um, the overwrite rule feature. So let's take a look. We can either press this R plus, which is the rule plus button. We can right click and add a rule as well. Say we don't want it to be Odaka, we want it to be Heiban. So we press Heiban, we press add, and we can see one rule has been added. Now if we try to regenerate this, so let's take it off here, and let's try to regenerate this block and see what happens. So we can see that this the text, Hanashi with Odaka is automatically changed to Heiban. Now guys, this works one for one. So the text will be changed. Let's go ahead and look at the add rule feature one more time. And we can see that this text will be changed to exactly what is in this text box. So it's a one for one conversion. Now let's look here. Let's say we want to change this Hanashi also to Heiban. So first, let's see how many times this occurs in our collection. Oh, only once. Let's find a word that occurs multiple times in our collection. Maybe, yeah, dasu. Maybe this is going to occur many times in our collection. Let's look for another word. What word would be good? Maybe yoku. Yoku will probably happen many times. Let's see. Okay, it happens twice. So now let's see. Say we don't want it to be yoku. We don't want it to be kifuku 1, which is a tamadaka, right? Like we don't want it to be that. So we're going to add a rule. We're going to change it to, let's say we want this to be odaka for some reason. Okay, so we press O, and then we can actually at the time of the addition apply it to all the cards in our deck. Let's see what that looks like. So we can see that it has, oh, it says it's been applied. Oh yeah, one more thing that's important to note, guys. It will only be applied to cards that have actually been added to your active fields. So we have to add this card as an active field. Let's delete everything else to make it clear all the other test things. So let's go ahead and go to the profile. The profile is JS add-on test. Okay, and then we want to go ahead and go to which card type is this. We can click card types. Okay, this is Kokugo G10 and Teigi. No, where's the Okado one? Is the card type? Okay, so we want to go to this card one. Okay, and we have to add at least the field that's going to be used. Only the fields that are used are actually checked over because this improves the speed, right? We don't want it to check everywhere because it just slows down the actual generation. So we're going to go ahead and add it to both and then press apply. And now we can see that, let's find a different word though that occurs in multiple cards. How about aite? Maybe this occurs multiple times. Let's check. Oh yeah, it occurs a bunch of times. This is pretty good. Okay, so let's say we don't want this to be, we can press F5 by the way too, as well guys. We don't want it to be aite. Like let's say the pronunciation's wrong. We want it to be like aita for whatever reason. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and apply this. I'm gonna copy this over so we can search later. We're gonna go ahead and apply this to all new cards and all learned cards in our deck at the same time. It's going to tell us, look, 20 rules have been, our rules have been applied 20 times, 20 notes have been altered. So we can see now, if we search Aite, it's not even in our deck. If we search Aita, we can see 20 cards. And we can see that they have been changed. Look. Okay? So this is something that we can use to improve, like together as a community, we can improve the accuracy in kind of a brute force way. For the time being, it can really help us improve the accuracy of the add-on through just taking the result and altering the any mistakes that it makes in post-processing, right? It like does one final check at the end and changes things around. Of course, you can go ahead and undo. Now, if we search, nothing is there, and we can search Aite again. Oops. Okay, and we can see that it's back to how it was before. Okay, now a cool thing about this is we can actually open this in the Japanese support settings, and we can see that we can see the lists here. Okay, now we can actually change it from in here. Let's say we want it to be aitai is is the rule we want it to be. So we can apply it once we've edited the rule right here as well. Okay, it's been applied. So we can copy this text and let's search it. And we can see that 20 cards have been applied. But we're going to go ahead and undo this. And while we're at it, another cool thing I want to show you guys, for people who had issues with small screens, I've just gone ahead and made this scrollable and resizable so that those issues should be fixed. Also, people who had issues on Mac, like with the options screen, that should also be fixed because the PYQT, well, I don't want to go too far into the technical stuff, but the implementation and is just different and there are quirks. But I want to thank Skabaka again because he actually donated a Mac for testing and I used it, and I think it should be solid on Mac now, guys. You have to let me know though. So anyways, now we can just resize it and scroll if need be for people with smaller screens. And of course, for people with regular size screen, it should work as it normally did before. There were also, I'm getting kind of sidetracked, but it'll happen. I also fixed several issues here with the generation. Now, there were actually some mismapped checkboxes. Now they're all mapped correctly, and there were also issues here that I also fixed. Now, you guys, if you find any errors at all, please report them to me because I'm actually pretty busy with a lot of projects, and I don't have time to use the add-on as much as I would otherwise like to. Many times I don't use it. I mostly don't use it, so I'm really relying on you guys to report bugs that you have, or it's going to be very difficult for me to find them. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's search. Oh yeah, we undid it, right? So let's go ahead and search yoku here. So we can see there are 2 occurrences, and of course ite has 20 occurrences. But let's say we want to apply all of the rules at once. Whoops. So remember, Yoku has 2. We can go ahead and select and apply all of the rules at once. You can see that 30 rules have been applied 30 times. That means more than one rule has been applied per card, and 25 total notes have been altered. So let's go ahead and search Yoku. Yoku is not there, but if we search this one, the altered version, of course it is now there. Okay, it is now there, and of course we can undo. Okay, another thing that we can do here, which is pretty cool, is we can import and export our list. Let's go ahead and export this list. Oh, by the way, guys, this saves directly. This saves directly within our what do you call it? This saves directly within our collection media folder. So you can see here that this will instantly be synced with your collection. So even if you sync to a new computer, your user exception list will automatically be downloaded and used on another computer, even if it's cross-platform, PC, Mac, or whatever, which is pretty cool. Now we can go ahead and save this as like test list. Oops. Let's save it as test list 1. Go ahead and press save. Okay, and it'll show you that it has been saved and where it was saved to. Okay, now that we can see that it's been saved, we can go ahead and let's say we delete 2 rules. Let's delete 2 rules. Yeah, we right click to delete, guys. You can select as many rules as you would like, and then you can right click to delete. Then we can go ahead and import. Let's import that list, test list 1. Now we can select, what do we want to do? Do we want to combine the list? Do we want to replace the current list? Let's just go ahead and replace the current list. It's going to show us 3 rules have been imported. Now let's say we want to change this list to be, how about we don't want, for whatever reason, if it generates this, we just want to go back to ite, which is kanji. We're not going to apply any rules right now. And this one we want it to be like SDS, whatever text you want, and then we don't want apply any rules, and we're going to go ahead and delete the rules for this one. Yeah, go ahead and delete it. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and import that list again. Let's import it. This time we're going to combine the lists. Now we want to combine it with the new list, but we want to honor the current list. Like we want to honor any original field that is the same as an original field in our current list. So if the list that's being imported and the current list have any original fields that are the same, we're going to go ahead and just honor the current list. We're not going to overwrite those. So we can see one rule has have been imported. Well, I should probably, yeah, eventually I'm going to change that so it's one rule has been imported with little parentheses there. That'd probably be better. Okay, but 2 rules have been ignored because they conflicted with existing rules. So we can see that we keep the ones we had before, but again, let's delete this row again, and let's import it this time, and we're going to combine the list, and we're going to honor the imported list. So even if there is an occurrence, like if they're the same, it's going to go ahead and overwrite our list. And look, 3 rules have been imported, 2 rules have been overwritten. So we can see that it's back to what it was before. So that's pretty much it, guys. Now I've tested this, and it should work with lists up to like 100,000. I think realistically we should never get to something like 100,000, but it's pretty cool that it'll work with lists up to 100,000. And another cool thing that I want to show you guys. Let me go ahead and add a new card. Let's say that card is Tabedu. Let's say it's Tabeta. How about let's say that card is actually Tabedu. Let's make it Tabete, Tabedu, Tabe, Dadeta, etc. Okay, let's go ahead and generate that card, and we're gonna go ahead and add it. Okay, let's go through the whole collection and look at the newest card created. Where's created? Oh, created was already there, but it's all the way to the side. All right, we want the newest card, and let's look here. Something very cool that we can do, for example, we can just, if for verbs, we can go ahead and select just this part. We can add a rule. Say it's not kif, say it's atamadaka, or let's say it's heiban. It's a heiban verb. We can go ahead and click heiban. We're going to go ahead and apply at the same time. And we can see that it will actually change the verbs. It will, if you just change the stem of the verb, it will actually change the whole verb. So you can actually fix any problems with verbs or adjectives very easily using this if you just take the stem before the end there. And of course, let's remove this. So we're back to what we were, and we're gonna just generate it. And you can see it'll generate exactly what we want. So now, guys, the idea here is that we're going to fix the issues that we see, and then later we can make a huge compilation list together so that we can of course there are limitations, like there are limitations for words that are read differently based on where they're used, etc. However, what we can do here is together compile a large list that will push the accuracy of the add-on further than it currently is. Another thing cool that we can do here, or that I'm actually doing with a cool guy on the server named Calculus Ace, is together we're working on going through dictionaries, and we're going to try to generate a list that should that we're gonna like later share with the community, that will be a base list that everyone can use, that should fix a huge majority of any kind of parsing problems that we run across. And I'm working with him. He's generating the list, and I'm gonna write some scripts to well, I've been writing some of the scripts too, but what we're gonna do is go ahead and use code to search for mistakes. I'm not going to go into how that's done because most people won't understand anyways, but anyways, we're going to use code to search for mistakes, and we should be able to find a lot of those, and through that make a computer generated list that we can later share with the community. But for now, I think that's going to be it. There might be a few other things here that I haven't really gotten a chance to get into, and if so, I'll just make sure to let you guys know about that. But if you have any issues, of course, please let me know, because this is the last rendition of the add-on before we go ahead and just release it for public release, because I think it's in a much better place than it was after the first beta release. But again, if you find any issues at all, please just go ahead and let me know, because if at all possible, within a week, we want to get this out for a public release. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. I know I rambled. I can't be bothered right now. I'm very busy. I can't be bothered to organize this in any sort of meaningful way, but I hope you guys got the gist of this new feature, and I hope it helps us, do what we need to do with our Japanese studies on Anki. Alright, guys, fantastic. Have a great day. I hope you enjoy it.